This is the Bar Up Show with Rafael Cruz from the studios of Miami Strength Club in North Miami, Florida, bringing you the information, stories, and solutions to increase your strength so you can lead a better life for yourself and the people around you. Hey, what's up? What's up? Good evening, Tuesday here at the Bar Up Show with Rafael Cruz. Listen, this is quite interesting. It's been about months, I would say. I haven't done this in a while. So if you just happen to catch this live or if you just happen to see the replay, welcome for tonight. Today we have fruits that energize. Fruits that energize. What do you want to be energized for? Well, your workouts, to have a vibrant life, to have an exciting life. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what good fruits are good for. So we're going to be talking about 5 fruits that are really amazing. They have a long history. I'm not talking about just something new that it's been made just commercially available now because they are in surplus or because it's easy to crop or whatever. No. I'm talking about fruits that for centuries, if not millennia, have been the powerhouses of healthy people, people that needed to have extra energy and vitality. And that's what we're going to talk about. So, what are fruits, essentially? I'm not going to go too deep into that. Fruits grow on trees, sometimes on the floor, sometimes on many places. But we're going to be talking about primarily fruit number 1, the banana. Man, the banana is just good. The banana is just good. Banana is so good that people can go bananas. How about that? Hey, listen, the banana may seem like a very humble fruit, but it's definitely packed with a lot of energy. You can see that many people, many athletes especially, just grab a banana and then they do a workout or then they go into the games. You definitely see as well, maybe you are one of them. If you like bananas, just drop on your comments there, banana. Just drop on the comment banana if you like bananas. If you like to have breakfast with banana, just also put just put banana and say when you eat bananas or what for. You can put breakfast or snack, something like that. But definitely banana. Bananas are interesting. They originate in South Asia, and there is evidence that the predecessor of modern bananas have been cultivated at least for 5,000 years back in the day. We're going to talk a little bit more how we got to have our modern bananas, which is an interesting conversation. But bananas are loaded with potassium, and they help prevent muscle cramps, and they also balance your electrolytes. That means because they have natural sugars, they provide immediate energy. That's why sometimes when you wake up, you eat a banana, and that feels like at least a very good beginning of a breakfast. And also, they have vitamin B6, and listen, they're good post-workout. Definitely a good post-workout because vitamin B6 aids in muscle repair. And hey, I could take muscle repair after workout. Why not? If you like working out, I would like to make this as interesting as possible. So if you like working out, definitely give me a banana workout. That sounds bananas. I beg your pardon. Just give me here a couple of seconds to organize a couple of things. I have to. Live streaming requires sometimes a little bit of organization and whatnot. So you're gonna see me shifting things around. So a little bit more about bananas. Like I said, bananas have a long history. And they are believed to have been first domesticated in South Asia, like I said before, more in
in more precise in Papua New Guinea, as far back as 5,000 years before Christ era. And some people say, some experts have said it as far as 8,000 years BCE. So people were eating bananas a long time ago. That is not a surprise, uh, because if you do a little research or you are familiar with how bananas uh, have been growing for that long time, they're pretty easy. They grow pretty easy in the wild in some areas at the very least, and they are fairly easy to crop or plant. Um, and I don't know about modern bananas, but there are many varieties of bananas. So a little bit of how they spread. Bananas spread from Africa to the Middle East, and by 500 before Christ, banana cultivation has spread to Madagascar and the African midland, which means that African traders carried bananas to the Middle East, and the fruit is mentioned in an Islamic text from the 9th century. So listen, I'm giving you this backdrop just to tell you that bananas are not a new thing. Bananas have been a staple in many cultures across time, and that's important. That is important. What that tells you is that a banana is just not a fad. If you eat bananas, you're just doing a human thing. That's what I mean. Humans eat bananas for a long time. Um, but from Africa and the Arab mentions, as I did, the Portuguese later, way later in the 16th century, came. They just brought bananas into West Africa and introduced them to the Americas. It was the Portuguese, and then as far as kind of like the early, what we know about bananas now commercially, there were a lot of plantations in the Caribbean. So as far back as the 19th century, bananas began to be cultivated in the Caribbean on a large scale, and also it was one of the main imports to here to the United States. So other places in Latin America started having great bananas and exporting them, and we were importing them here to the United States. That, of course, brought us to the bananas we have today. There's been some casualties to some of the banana species out there, but it is known that around 19 feet in the 1950s there was some diseases that I guess affected bananas, and some of the banana species that were known back then are no longer what they used to be. So we do have a small different banana than some other people knew back then, but that's fine. I think bananas are great. I use bananas personally. Sometimes, as soon as I wake up, if I feel more cramping or low energy, I also like to have bananas. Uh, some bananas can be a little bit acid, so it is recommended, at least in my experience, let's put it that way. I do not eat bananas with coffee, although that may not be an issue for you. Sometimes it is an issue for me in my experience. If that's something that you have experienced before, just let me know. You can drop something in the comments down there. And but I try not to eat bananas with things that are very heavy or that cause acidity. I personally do not eat bananas with peanut butter anymore. Peanut butter, at least out of the top of my head, anecdotally, tend to cause or can be a cause of a little bit more acid in your stomach. So I don't like the combination. It's just like a little bit heavy. but I love bananas with almond butter. It's not that different, but it's a little bit lighter on the acid part than peanut butter. All right, so some information about bananas. Fruit number two, when it comes to your workout, bananas are going to be good. They can spike your glucose just enough that you're not going to be up and down. So, meaning it will stabilize your glucose. Bananas have potassium, like I said, so they will also regulate your blood pressure or help regulate your blood pressure based on potassium levels, and that means that they're also good for hydration because potassium is one of those on the family of the electrolytes, and electrolytes are the foundation for hydration. Water plus electrolytes and some minerals maintain your body at healthy levels of water utilization and retention, and also I guess letting go of your water. Just the renal function, making sure that you can excrete and also pee out, urinate, I guess excess fluid or discharge fluids in a healthy way. So that bananas can help you all of that. Fruit number two, an apple. What do they say about apples? An apple a day keeps the doctor at bay. That's an old adage. It's definitely, I would say, it would carry wisdom. Just like the bananas, the apple has been in a staple in human nutrition across many cultures and for centuries, if not for thousands of years, for millennia. So when it comes to that, apples, let's give you a little bit of kind of like an overview of what apples are good for, and they are a good energy source. They give you a prolonged energy source. Sometimes if you eat an apple, some people eat two depending on how hungry they are. You can feel that they are distinct from bananas, for example, in that you can have satiety for a little bit longer, and they give you more energy for a little bit longer. So also the apple is a symbol of health and vitality, not only now but through history. I guess going back in the day, originating in Central Asia, apples have been cultivated for thousands of years. Just culturally, everybody knows what an apple is. That it's almost doesn't matter what kind of place in the world you are from or you originate from, and pretty much everybody knows what an apple is. So that's how embedded the apple is in our culture. Fitness benefits. When it comes to your workout, all fruits have their own particular benefits, but I'm talking about specifically about fitness. When it comes to, hey, are you working out? What's happening? Apples offer a sustained release of energy, and that's also in part thanks to their fiber. Just like bananas, apples have, a substantial amount of glucose, but they also have plenty of fiber. So that makes the release of that sugar and the utilization of that sugar more just longer. It's just long lasting, just more lasting energy. So that makes apples lower on the glycemic index when it comes to fruits. Also, they are packed with antioxidants such as vitamin C, and they protect your body during intense workouts and physical activity. And they also protect your heart. Important. And of course, they just offer overall wellness benefits. You see that fiber that I was talking about not only promotes better glucose regulation, but it also promotes really gastrointestinal function. So that's great benefits for your apple right there. A little bit on the history of your apples. Um, let's check this out. A little bit on the history of your apples. Let's take a tiny break before we go to history. And here we go. Hey, hey, we're back. We're back. Thank you. This is a great thing about live streaming. You know, you can sometimes take a break and people can wait for you. I, I hope you're still around there. And we're talking about the history of apples. We just talked about what are the benefits, but also since I want to be a little bit, informative, uh, apples originate in Central Asia, and it's domesticated. The domestic apple, let's put it that way. There's wilder apples, but the kind that most people use and has evolved to now, the varieties originate there. They spread along the trade routes to Europe, the Middle East, and along the Silk Road. The Silk Road is a commercial route that originated between Far East places, as far as China, sometimes as Japan, I believe, all the way through Europe and some places in Africa. Um, Now, cultivation in Europe by the Middle Ages, apples were being cultivated throughout Europe, with many varieties being developed. That means that people figured out how to breed um, these different varieties and make new kinds of apple. You go to the supermarket, there's all kinds of apples right there, and that's what we're talking about here, the history of breeding. And then also, when it comes to how apples got here to the United States or the Americas, let's put it that way, um, the European settlers, excuse me, the European settlers introduced apples to North America in the 17th century, where they became a staple fruit. I think we all know that that's true. There's even a state that has a motto, the Big Apple, or at least the city, I think it is. The city of New York is the Big Apple. Is that because of an apple? I mean, what's going on? Does anybody even know why New York is called the Big Apple? I surely don't. Even if I lived there for 11 years, until I moved to Sunshine, Florida, amazing state, the best, the best, the best of the best. All right, so that's a little bit about apples. What do you think, guys? Is this something that you like? Is this something that sounds useful for you? Uh, I would definitely hope so. If you like this, just like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm going back to do live stream and podcasting. It is my call. It's my pleasure to take time and put a lot of information together and just dump it out there, making it in a way that can help you if you're looking for this kind of thing. And if you're serious about your health, just stay around here because I'm going to talk about the third fruit. The third fruit is the orange or the orange family. Uh, the citrus hydrator. Why? Well, what are oranges? What are they full of? Look, you bite into an orange or you squeeze an orange, and everything that comes out of it is juice and pulp. juice and pulp, man. So oranges, when it comes to your fitness, are great for hydration. No one can take that away from oranges. They are juicy, they are refreshing, they provide with a lot of energy. And if you actually eat the pulp and not only the juice, you'll get a lot of fiber as well. And it can fill you up, man. You can eat an orange and get out of the pinch. Um, they're great for breakfast. They're great for some people put some people put some people. Excuse me, I'm rushing here through my voice. What's going on? Calm down. Ooh, eat an orange or a banana or something. What's going on? Hey, I think I'm hungry. I want to get home too, and eat some dinner. And here I'm talking about food. So oranges are real good for breakfast. Some people put oranges or tangerines or the kind of like orange style fruits in salad. Some people use it for marinades. You can definitely juice it. And you can mix the juice of an orange with other fruits and vegetables. Creates amazing flavor and textures in your butt taste and your palate. So an amazing, almost magical fruit. Also, oranges of I would say all varieties, including lime and lemon, have they are especially good for vitamin C. And there's not only one kind of vitamin C. There's different kinds of vitamin C depending on which fruits you eat, the compound. And I'm gonna have to take a tiny pause here, and I'll be right back. I'm going to give you more details on the orange. Don't go anywhere. It's just a 3-second pause. Amazing. Here we are back with oranges. Like I was saying, there's many kinds of vitamin C, um, and oranges are pretty much the heaven, if you will, of vitamin C. They are perfect for a pre-workout snack. Oranges are also rich in in different kinds of vitamin C, and vitamin C is crucial for muscle repair. Very good. I can give you the details. That's a little bit more. It's a kind of like a different topic, but that's just the generic benefit there. And also, listen, there's so much water that anyone can drink in a day. We also have a yearning for other flavors, and when it comes to hydration, the orange is just it's just a powerhouse, really. It has a high water content, like I mentioned, and it also has sugars. It'll spike your energy. Definitely spike your energy. It's a good pre-workout. It's a quick energy burst just before you work out, and you may consider it so that, let's say, maybe you don't have time to have a sit down meal, and but you want to get to the gym. You're in transition. You're like, just hey, I'm not gonna make any excuses. I'm gonna find a way. I would say that any of the fruits that we have talked about are really good in isolation or combination in order for you to get a good pre-workout and also the benefits that we have been talking about that. One more. Oh, by the way, oranges are related greatly with uh, they have Chinese origin, and is believed to have originated in southeastern China. In some countries, they call the orange or the orange fruit, the different kinds of orange, they call it chinas. I know specifically in Dominican Republic, where I was born and my family as well. You go to the market, you can say, hey, venden china por aquí. That's everybody knows what you're talking about. Una china is an orange of any kind, but oranges. Uh, so that's pretty much the orange. South China, Northeast India, and possibly as far south as Vietnam. That's pretty much the origin of the orange, as far as thousands of years ago. Oranges spread to the Mediterranean, especially the sweet kind. Was introduced to the Mediterranean region by Italian and Portuguese traders in the 15th century, and they were popularized in Europe by the 16th century. Especially the sweet orange was becoming popular in Europe for its sweet taste, which is distinguished that fruit from the bitter, more Seville orange, which is, I think we call it sour oranges here. Uh, so that's that. As far as getting here to the the Americas, the Spanish brought oranges to the Americas in the 1490s, and by the 19th century, here Florida has become a major producer by then of oranges, particularly renowned for its orange juice. So there you have it, folks. If you are here in Florida, that's one that we have won in the history books. We are the Florida, the orange producing powerhouse. I don't know if it's only for the United States, by the way. I think that Florida um, is one of the biggest producers of oranges in the world. I might be mistaken on that, but so I have been mistaking other things. um, I did not research that. That might be one thing. That might be one follow up for everybody. Moving on, we only have two fruits. Once again, if you are finding this interesting or important, you can hit like. You can check ourselves in social media. This is the Bar Up Show with Rafael Cruz. Sometimes I go at the Rafael Cruz podcast as well, sometimes simultaneously. And we also live stream to Facebook, sometimes Instagram. And primarily, we have groups, almost like um, webinar style or just like live video where you can participate in exclusively in our website as live video. We have Miami Strength Club. You can join events, or you can just stay. Just look, go to our social media, Miami Strength Club, and just subscribe. Just like us there, so you can get the updates. Moving on, fruits that are great for your fitness life. Grapes. In grapes have been there for a long time. Uh, Grapes are a great source for antioxidants. And if you don't understand what antioxidants are, they help your cells stay healthy by removing or allowing the body to remove excess, I guess, byproducts, metabolites, and things that the body just doesn't have much use for. There's grapes everywhere. There are grapes everywhere you go. They're fairly affordable, and I guess that what I'm saying is we should not take grapes for granted. They are what they lack in size. They have in benefits, and let's just talk about that. Uh, as far as health, grapes are full of antioxidants, including resveratrol, which supports heart health and may improve endurance. So, what I do need endurance for? What do you need endurance for? Hey, listen, you're lifting and you can do 10 reps and you can do 12 reps. Your capacity to do 30 reps might come down to how much endurance you have developed. If you have, uh, if you run 5 miles, your capacity to run 10 miles might come down to endurance. And of course, that just seems so obvious, but that I'm just explaining it so that you can see where that applies. So grapes are amazing with antioxidants, and they also give you energy. They have plenty of sugars in there. Um, Grapes have been used for just eating right off the vine. Some grapes are more sweet than others. Some grapes have just different textures and different amount of seeds. The seedless grapes that we have now, that's more of a, I don't know, something of, I would say, technology. Was that what you call it? Cropping technology? Science, genetic genetic modification in fruits and whatnot. Don't quote me on that. I don't know, but it'll strike that all fruits have seeds, and if a fruit doesn't have seed, that's probably some tinkering has been done to it. But that's food for thought for another time. Also, uh, they have been actually cultivated for well over 8,000 years, and they have been a favorite in all layers of, I guess, culture for millennia across many ancient cultures, and they have been used also for wine and wine trade. Wine has been a trade in many cultures for thousands and thousands of years, and grape wine is something divine. It has been called something divine. Uh, I would probably not say too much about grapes anymore, and I just want to move to the last fruit. I want to talk about pineapples. Pineapples are amazing. I actually have a really dear friend whose favorite fruit, and one of the favorite things that she likes to see is pineapple. I'm praying for you every time, and I'm glad things are going a little bit better in some areas. We love you from the Cruz family. A lot of love. Uh, Pineapples are just anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is one of those things that can just trickle in slowly but surely, and then one day it's like, oh, this hurts, or I don't feel good here, I don't feel good there. But in the context of fitness, um, inflammation or inflammation-like experiences can make your recovery and your workouts, for that matter, very difficult. Inflammation also, it's, or at least let's say bloating. If you eat some sorts of food and you feel bloated, you feel like your abdomen is just filling up with, and you don't know what it is. That's also part of the inflammation pattern. And pineapples are really good for that, just to fight inflammation, among other things. As far as their ancestry, let's just say that they are native to South America, and it was spread to, I guess, the rest of the world with Christopher Columbus's voyages. So hey, you see, not everything was wrong, but I'm not going to go down that road. Um, as far as what kind of status they hold, pineapples are kind of like a fruit that has, it's posh, it's distinguished. It's, you can kind of say, at least in many places, is a luxury fruit. You don't really find pineapples everywhere you go, even in modernity now. But they're definitely a delicacy. I love pineapples. You can put pineapples in many things. They're used for many recipes in every stage of food and meal preparation. Uh, Pineapples are used in many different ways. I love pineapples to actually tenderize certain meats, especially pork. You blend one pineapple, two in your blender, and then you put that pineapple juice with the pulp in on top of your meat, and you leave it there for some time, and then you rinse it, and then you season it accordingly. It'll make your meat so tender that it's like especially not prime meat. If you don't have prime cuts that they're not soft and just good like that, you can tenderize. If you have something a little bit more rough, some piece of beef or something that you don't necessarily care for the flavor because it's not the top quality, something that you have frozen before and now you thaw it, and it might still be holding a lot of quality, but the pineapple is not going to mess it up. You can tenderize it that way, and of course you can also tenderize it using other things. But that's one way. As far as a fitness benefit, a pineapple is a great post-workout because the enzyme bromelain, which helps in protein digestion and reducing inflammation, is excellent for recovery after a strenuous workout. And that's it. That bromelain is which helps in protein digestion. It's the same thing that tenderizes the meat, by the way. So if you're having a substantial, juicy steak that is cooked to perfection, and as a dessert, you have a couple of pieces of pineapple or like pineapple sorbet later on, something freshly made. That should help you with digestion, man. That's definitely not something trivial. If you are bulking and you eat some pineapple and you eat pineapple regularly, that might be one of those things that help you with all that eating you're doing. And that's not going to be trivial. That may mean the difference between something that you can do sustainable for some time while you're bulking, or just something that you cannot put up with. So there you have it, guys. We talked about 5 fruits. We talked about the bananas. We talked about the apples, oranges, grapes, and now lastly pineapple. These are all wonderful fruits that will maximize your energy for workouts and give you a ton and a pack of other stuff. My name is Rafael Cruz from Miami Strength Club. We are a studio gym geared for coaching and personal training so that we can make you stronger, so you can live a better life for yourself and people around you. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it, leave a comment, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Thank you very much, and see you. Bye-bye.
If you enjoy this podcast and would like to support the channel by continuing to listen to our podcast releases and short clips, consider subscribing. It will help a lot to continue to bring interesting guests that promote our vision of helping people become stronger so that they can lead better lives for themselves and the